have all of you here. So, guys, as we get started this morning, uh, it's there's so much going on with New Age and New Age RX, New Age Limu, New Age whatever you want to add to it. People ask me what's the name. Honestly, opportunity should be our name because we're the opportunity company. That's something that we've been saying now for hard to believe. But Aaron's on here with me. Aaron, I don't know if you thought about this, but this is actually the week 8 years ago that we made the appointments to set up to meet with Mark and Fred and all the owners of the company. It's kind of it's hard to believe it's been 8 years. If you thought about that, it's 8 years this week that we made the appointment. We had not met them at this point, but it would be next month that we had met them. I got to thinking about that yesterday. That is, I don't, the actual day would be Valentine's Day, I believe, is when we left there, knowing we had chosen RX and these owners. But at any rate, guys, won't get into nostalgia. A lot of you have been here for a short period of time. Some of us have been here for 8 years. There's probably some folks have been on here from the very beginning. But I'm so excited this morning. Every Saturday morning seems to bring different topics or different avenues. And probably my favorite, she's been on several times. No offense, Aaron, but I love to hear Ginger. I mean, that's not just, it's just because I learned so much. Every time I hear Ginger speak, and I've heard her multiple times, I always pick up something that I write down or something that I repeat. And I have people all the time say, you just know so much. And I'm like, no, I just repeat what I hear. I don't know. So you don't have to be an expert. The good news is we have experts. And I was involved when Ginger first started with this company. So Ginger will probably tell you how great the company is because she met Aaron because of RX. So Aaron got a wife out of RX and Ginger got a good, and I told her, she said, is this guy really a good guy? I said, not really. No, I didn't say that. I said, he's a great guy. Actually, that's what I said. He's just beyond good guy. But at any rate, they've obviously they're now a couple. I mean, they're married. So, but Ginger was one of those people that honestly, I was, when she started asking me questions, I knew right up quickly that I knew nothing because, oh my God, I'm way out of my league. I knew that they told me how great these products were. I knew I'd had health changes. I knew I felt better, but I was afraid she was going to let me know these products weren't very good. I hate to say that, but when I first started, I'm like, Lord, I got a lady here that knows so much about product. I'm about to find out maybe I'm not selling some good stuff. But Ginger, I want to thank you for being on. Your schedule is busy. You and Aaron are building a huge team. If those don't know, Ginger and Aaron are in the top 5 power rankers every single week, not just this week, not this last month, not just last year, but every year. They consistently are building one of the largest teams, and they make an amazing couple because of their different expertise. I mean, I think that's what makes their couple so amazing is that Ginger is absolutely came here for the products, and Aaron will tell you he came here straight for the money, just like me. We both came for the money. Ginger came for the product. So Ginger, today we're going to be very informal. A lot of times I think informal talks are always great because you get to learn from people, and I know the chat room will fill up, and we'll try to keep an eye on that as well. But Ginger, we're going to start by just asking you a simple question. I am. So I remember what you said. You'll let me know what's wrong with these products. Just give me a little time. You said that. Let me know. I'll let you know what's wrong because this industry is full of so much bad. That's the way you described it. And they said, unfortunately, so many people don't understand that. So, Ginger, I'm going to start by a simple question. What attracted you to the RX product line? Why did you decide that this was something you could endorse after years of being in? I mean, this is not something you just decided to get healthy like some of us here a few years ago. This is something you've been doing for a long time. Because I remember asking that one question, what does it mean to be a vegan? And I remember your answer. You may not remember telling me this. You said, I don't eat anything that has a mother. I remember that. I'm like, so I had to think about that a minute. I thought, what? That means you didn't eat eggs because it had a mother. That's how you described it to me. So you may not remember that conversation because I wasn't really sure what it meant to be a vegan. But at any rate, I'm just going to kind of turn it to you. And I want you just to talk about what attracted you to the product line. And now you're on you're involved with the development of the products. I mean, you're involved with everything now. I mean, they found an expert. I should have given you all your accolades. Been on Dr. Oz. You've been written multiple books about health and nutrition, juicing, and I know you got me drinking celery juice and all these other things now. But at any rate, why don't you just tell us what attracted you to our product line and why RX? Why this particular product line made the difference?
Well, I can say it in one sentence and then I'll expound on it. The one sentence is integrity of ingredients. There is just no compromise here. Deanna Latson, Deanna Latson's the reason I came here, because I knew with her at the helm of the products that it would never go, awry. And so when I first looked at the products, having taught at a world-renowned healing center and really understanding how the body, if given the proper tools, can truly heal itself and turn around all of today's lifestyle diseases, because that's what they are. All of the diseases that everyone have today, 99.9% of them are because of the lifestyle that people are living. So when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to vitamins, minerals, and nutrition that boosts your immune system, we have to have that. But at the same time, you have to eliminate the toxins, right? There are toxins that we can't eliminate when we're out in life, but in your own world and the things that you put in your mouth and the products that you take, you want them toxin free. So Deanna Latson completely understands that. And we were like two peas in a pod when we first met, because we both understood each other. So when I first looked at the products, I will tell you, it might surprise you, the product that I was the most attracted to was actually Restorix, Chris. And that's because when I taught at the Healing Center, part of the detoxification process, we would use those individual ingredients, right? And Restorix is our detox in a spa bottle. It has all of the ingredients. It has spirulina, chlorella, which can pull heavy metals and even radiation from the body. It has activated charcoal, micronized zeolite. These are all known detoxifiers. And I had never seen them all in one product. And I was like, you know what, that's ingenious. Like, that's incredible. So that was the first one that got my attention. Then I started looking at, the other ones. And of course, Slenderize, there's nothing like it on the planet. And that was very impressive. But then it even went deeper. So not only, guys, and this is, if you're not aware, these are some things that you can share with people to really get them to understand how superior we are, even if you don't know details about the products. Number one, we are gluten-free. We are lactose-free. There's no dairy in our products. We are GMO-free, genetically modified organism, GMO-free. All of our products are. We use no artificial sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors or any of that stuff. And those are buzzwords that people are looking for when they're looking at labels, right? We've got all of that covered, and we've got tons of certifications that verify, certify, and guarantee that that's the case. But then we really take it next level. And this is one of the things that I really loved, because I used to be able to find one product from one company, one product from another company, but their other products, they weren't doing it all right, if that makes sense. So when it comes to manufacturing fillers, binders, lubricants, flow agents, all of those things have to do strictly with the manufacturing, have nothing to do with your health. So when it comes to a health product, you want all these great ingredients. And when it comes to bottling and packaging and storage and all that, you don't want the manufacturing company to go and put a bunch of chemicals in that are going to increase your toxic load with this great product. So what Deanna started from the beginning and worked with Dr. Strand, obviously, way even before me, was eliminating those manufacturing chemicals and or finding food-based alternatives. So that kind of in a nutshell makes the superiority even that much higher. Plus we are manufactured in an FDA approved OTC facility, over the counter facility. Now the FDA does not certify or license or any supplements. And trust me, you want that to be the case, because you see the drugs that they're putting out there and you see what can happen. But you do want a company that respects integrity. And so an FDA OTC facility, the standards are much higher than your traditional kind of supplement companies. So they're a little bit more rigorous. So from the ground up, I mean, we got it going on, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Would it be fair to say that when we talk about, and I know I say this to a lot of people, I'm not an expert, but what I will say is if you know nutrition, if you're one of those people that really think you know nutrition, that if you'll do your research, you will find nobody in the league with us. And I say that with all sincerity. Here's what I find though, and I'm going to ask, I'm asking this, but not telling it, is that I meet people who think they know a lot about nutrition because they've done a little bit. And yet when they find out what we stand for, it really takes them to another level. Would you kind of agree with that statement?
Absolutely. And I kind of put companies in categories: worst, better, best. There's a lot of better companies out there that do pretty good, but they're not taking it to the level that we are. So, we're best in class across the board. And the fact that we literally every 2 years look at our products and say, hey, what new information is out there? What new science, what new studies, what new ingredients have been discovered that we can improve this particular product because that ingredient would add to it. And you've seen that we've done Give Ingredients, and we're constantly upgrading the products and kind of staying with the times and making our product even more superior, if that's even possible at times.
Yeah, the one thing that I say our company doesn't do a good job of is the communication. That's what Aaron and I were out there making sure people knew, because we just made an upgrade to Denali that even my wife just recently said, these don't look like what I've been taking. She said, they put the wrong pills in the bottle. And I'm like, take them, they've been upgraded. But I had just been out there discussing the fact that we're going to do a better job of getting the field to understand. So why don't you talk about how those upgrades work and how we make changes that you're not ever, listen, you and Deanna are never satisfied. I mean, I get that. That's part of your whole MO, is that y'all are never satisfied. So why don't you talk about, you mind talking about that particular one? You can talk about another one. I'm just bringing that one up.
Yeah, and usually what Rick does is on the RX Live or the New Age Live, which is now Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time, guys. So make sure it's not Tuesday anymore; it's Monday nights. He'll bring one of the experts on to talk about the upgrade. So if you missed that there, then you may have missed it overall. But with Vinali, we wanted to tweak some things and give it even more of that antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. So one of the things that you'll notice is the color of the pill. I actually had someone call me and say, hey, I think something's wrong with my Vinali. It doesn't look the same color. That's because of what we added, turmeric and different things that we added to boost in terms of immune system, antioxidant, and in general, anti-inflammatory properties of it. You can also use it as and the Chinese call it the beauty pill, because the ingredients are great for the skin, but from a general systemic antioxidant. And when I say antioxidants, those are actually anti-inflammatory properties in the body. And keep in mind, all of today's modern diseases are inflammatory in nature. So, we don't treat, diagnose, or cure. You don't use a certain product for a certain thing, but in general, the ingredients that we put in there, along with, honestly, MOA's 36 superfoods, 6 medicinal mushrooms, have innate anti-inflammatory properties because the individual ingredients do. So we've got a powerhouse of immune boosting products out there. And honestly, that's something that people are looking forward to, this past year, as we've all learned. And so our products were already doing that. So if you're taking our products, you're getting incredible immune boosting, and even Magna Cal D, the vitamin D. There's a lot of talk about vitamin D and immune system, and that's essential. And our vitamin D that we utilize is not the prescription vitamin D, like the kind you would get from your doctor, or even most of the products out there. We derive it from lanolin, the oils from the sheep's wool. As the sun comes down and hits the skin on the sheep, it produces vitamin D in the sheep, just like it does with us, right? And when you shear the lanolin, you can extract the oil, and that's the closest to our vitamin D. So we have so many products that hopefully you all are all taking that are foundational nutrition that are going to support you through all of this and beyond in terms of your immune system. So we're always stepping it up.
And I think we need to also, as we just had this merger, I mean, for all of us, what did that mean? We call it a reverse merger in our minds, because obviously our owners are still taking control, even though we have a new CEO. Fred's still the chairman now. But I want to talk about that from a product standpoint. I mean, I know that you and Deanna, that was a concern. And Deanna is still the chief product officer. You're still on I guess you call it the scientific advisory board. Is that what you actually are part of?
Correct.
Scientific advisory board. There's folks that are on wellness council, but scientific advisory board is actually involved with what I call the formulations. Would that be accurate?
Correct.
So why don't you talk about how do y'all feel about what, I know y'all are reviewing every product they've got and all that type of thing to even make them better.
And
I guess that's the way to put it.
And the process is the same, in terms of evaluating and giving the other company. So, we brought in Nucerity, we brought on different companies, and, giving the company the time and the people to learn our philosophy, to appreciate, the integrity with which we work. And then at some point they come to us and say, hey, we learned this or that and the other, do you think you can tweak our product? And so that's kind of the process. There are a lot of really good products that have been brought over. There's definitely some that we're going to tweak. There's some that are going to be really popular. Because you all already know a lot about health and wellness and nutrition, and you're going to look at the label and be like, this is awesome. And so we have a lot of that, but there's definitely some that we want to tweak, because we really do take it like next level where most companies don't go. So we're excited about some of the new launches coming, not only under our umbrella of things that we've formulated that are coming out this year, guys, get excited, but also some of the ones that are just easy to bring over because they're already done, right? And we can add them to our whole repertoire, and they complement. It's not the same as, they're different, but they totally complement.
Coach Palmer, you got something for Ginger? Because I know you've been a business builder, and Coach Palmer kind of came here just like I did, all about making money, let's face it. But I mean, we love the products. We know that that's what's driving for us. But if you've got something for Ginger as well.
I absolutely do. Yeah. And,
Uh-oh.
and I'm
Uh-oh.
actually, yeah, I'm excited about this. So one of the things I'll say is I feel so much better right now. And I've got to really bring it to an event that I attended in Arkansas. And Dr. Ginger, you were there and you spoke on a platform and talked about just foundational health. And you talked about our optimals and you talked about Magna Cal D. And when I left there, I started integrating that into my day and into my night. And I mean, I look up today and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I can feel it working in my body. So I got kind of two things, Chris. That one is we're going to talk more about the Destiny event, but if you're anywhere in locate, like you just got to find a way. I think we got like 50 spots left, 50 seats left, but Dr. Ginger will be at the Destiny event speaking on what I heard in Arkansas. And I'll tell you, like you and your team, the best thing you can do is you owe it to yourself to hear out of her mouth in person. And I promise you, you'll walk away. Zooms are great. I love Zooms because we can be everywhere and get on. But I'll tell you, when I heard you in person, Dr. Ginger, and then took it to heart and went out, I feel so much better. So thank you for that. The question I had for you is I'm enrolling all these coaches and actually people. I just enrolled a gentleman, Landon Rice, that is getting ready for pro day. He graduated from Jacksonville State University as a football player. He's getting ready for pro day. And so as I'm looking for people like that and they're joining our teams, if you're looking for peak performance from an athletic standpoint, I mean, I know our company does a lot around the world with with athletes, but from your standpoint, an athlete getting ready, they're working hard, they're in the gym every day, pre-workout, post-workout, recovery. What would you tell them to use, like out of our product portfolio?
Well, that's one of the things that I love about our products is they're so multifunctional, but also I guess you could say multi-people, right? We have people who are morbidly obese, who have serious, like life-threatening health challenges. Then we have the athletes, the fitness competitors, the Olympic and pro athletes. And by the way, we have a certification to reassure them, it's called In Sport, that our products are clean. They're not going to get red flagged on a drug or a urine test. And we've actually had some fitness competitors go to a natural competition using our products. And I remember we went, Aaron and I went a couple of years ago and watched Jenny Locke, who's on our team. She's a fitness competitor. And her class was like, I don't remember, like 30 people during the day when they were doing their little things that they do during the day. And then that night, like a third of them were missing because they got disqualified when they took the drug test. Not that they were necessarily taking drugs, but they were taking other supplements that had ingredients that would trigger it. So that's the first thing is they're safe for athletes. They're safe for everyone, but they're safe in terms of the testing for athletes. Because our products are multifunctional, I mean, I'll give you a couple examples. BioProQ, right? BioProQ is the little bottle. It's our CoQ10. CoQ10 or coenzyme Q, it's the same thing. You hear it talked about either one of those words, but CoQ10 is like the electric spark or the gasoline for the mitochondria, which is the engine of the cell. So a lot of medications deplete CoQ10, cholesterol medications, diabetes medications, chemotherapy significantly depletes it. And so if you'll ever notice the drug commercials on TV say, let your doctor know if you experience muscle weakness, muscle pain, muscle fatigue, that's because they know those drugs deplete CoQ10 and that's going to be a side effect. So that can be used for people on those medications. Of course, work with your doctor to wean off of those. But at the same time, Brent, that is a peak performance product for an athlete because they get peak performance of their muscles, right? The extra CoQ10, because as we get older, we age and we have less of it. So that's, again, the multifunctional, multi-people avenue of just that product. Of course, the Slenderize drops, they can help them lose that last bit of body fat, get that ripped look, you know, and honestly, that's just a physical appearance. But honestly, I love the drops the most because of the rebalancing that they do and how they impact cortisol, insulin, which impact your male and female hormones and every other hormone. So athletes need that as well for peak performance, just in rebalancing their hormones. The MOA is a great pre-workout. I know this guy takes a MOA every morning with 4 Rejuvenex and then goes and does his workout. So it's a great pre-workout, but it's also a great post-workout because you're replenishing so many amazing nutrients and even electrolytes in that. Not that it's an electrolyte product. I mean, I could go on and on with every single product that we have, but you could consider our product line a performance line for athletes as well. And I know we are going to, in the future, start incorporating a few other tweaks with things that are going to add to that. But what we have right now is phenomenal for athletes and honestly, everyone alike. And I'm not trying to tell everyone you can sell it to everyone, but honestly, you can share these products with everyone you're dealing with because it will take their body, their health, their physique to the next level.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I've heard you speak on that platform. And one of the things you did in Arkansas was you talked about the value of sleep and rest and good rest. And so one of the products I use personally is Magna Cal D, and I'll tell you, it's amazing what that's done for my sleep quality. So thank you for that. And last question. I said that was my last one, but I've got one more. If you're brand new, so you look at our house of brands and we really, if you're brand new, you look at it and go, holy smokes, we got a million products. So, I know it's hard not to be, but if you're talking to the brand new person and Ginger Decker, Dr. Ginger Decker is talking to the brand new person, what do you recommend they get started with? Because I always say, get started on this and then let the company, not in a bad way, but back sell you on all the other great things that we have. But what would you kind of start a person with, a foundation?
So I'm going to give you 2 answers to that because you're right. It's very hard because we have a lot of amazing products and it depends on what the goals are for that particular person and where they are. But in general, I like to start people with a transformation pack in one way, shape, or form. Minimum. That's the minimum. If they want to lose weight, but honestly, even if they don't want to lose weight, I like the drops just for a good solid month of rebalancing, right? Those 3 products in the transformation pack, which is the MOA, our liquid nutrition, the Slenderized drops, and the Rejuvenex, our energy product, are products that you feel and you get results fast. So then they're excited. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm doing this, that, and the other. What else, what else can I do to bring some more of that foundational nutrition? Now, if you take the transformation pack out completely and just leave me with the other products, I would say from a foundational standpoint, definitely the probiotics, right? That is your good bacteria for your gut. That's your sub foundation. You can't be healthy if your gut bacteria, the good versus bad bacteria is off kilter. So the probiotics. Then we take one rung up and that would be the optimals because that's your whole food vitamins and minerals. The Magna Cal D, that's your vitamin D, magnesium, calcium, vitamin K, all in the proper forms and the proper ratios. And I saw someone ask, our products aren't necessarily tagged vegan, but we do have a lot of products that are vegan. If you are super picky, then the vitamin D coming from lanolin, even though they're not killing the sheep, they're just shearing the sheep. That might be a problem for you. It's not for me. And actually, this guy's moved me a little bit on his side a little bit. So I wouldn't, Chris, characterize myself as totally vegan anymore.
What?
But I've also moved him this way. So, a little give and take here. Anyway, I just want to mention, so sub foundation probiotics, then optimals, Magna Cal D, and if you do fish oil, Omega Q, there is not a cleaner fish oil on the market. Number one, because we always use small fish, sardines and anchovies, but then we also don't use hexane to extract the oils like all the other companies are doing. We use a enzymatic fermentation process. So it's truly a clean oil. So those would be, keeping the cost down, those would be the sub foundation, the foundation. And then, of course, introduce them to MOA and Rejuvenex and everything else. But I just wanted to divide it up into 2 because you might have different people that you're dealing with. And so the fast results, lose weight, get energy, get them excited, would be one of the transformation packs. Or honestly, there's some other packs that kind of include all of those together. So it just depends on who you're working with.
Thank you, Dr. Ginger.
Well, I mean, obviously I know some of the answers to these questions, and I want to mention one thing when we talked about BioPro Q, because I use this a lot, the difference in our BioPro Q versus a CoQ10 that you'd buy at a store, and I even get the names. I know there's ubiquinol, there's ubiquinol, I get them confused. let's talk. Would you mind talking about what makes ours? People say, well, I could buy CoQ10 for $12, and yet ours is so different because I use, I take a ton of it because of
Yeah.
what you got me doing. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I feel so much when I don't take my BioPro Q, I feel tired. I feel like I'm not focused, and I'm amazed because you don't think about that being such a real energy product, but it does make the body
It's
feel
the
better.
master energy product. So if you feel achy and sore and it takes you a few minutes to walk around before you can stand up straight because your Achilles are tight in the morning, CoQ10, you will feel a difference, as Chris, I know that you did. Now we use the ubiquinol form, not the ubiquinone form, because it's much more bioavailable. But again, you can find other companies using ubiquinol, but then we take it next level. We don't use the fillers, binders, and the lubricants or the flow agents in the manufacturing process. So under other ingredients, which by the way is where companies hide their dirty little secrets, you will not see any of the manufacturing lubricants that are used during bottling day to coat the pills so they don't get hung up. Under ours, you'll always see rice bran under all of our supplements. Rice bran, that's our flow agent. And guess what? Rice bran is a food-based alternative, so I love that swap, right? Rice bran also helps to lower cholesterol. It has vitamin B, vitamin E, so you're getting a little bit of goodness instead of a chemical. So that's the next differentiation with that.
Well, thank you so much. I know that you could talk for hours, and you're going to get to in Destin.
Yeah. I'm going to go into much more
we're not
detail.
going to give her a short segment. Ginger's going to get a big segment because there's so many people coming to Destin for the purpose of learning multiple things, how to build a business as well, but they want to know what separates us. And we're so thankful you're coming to this event. You didn't make the last one. So at any rate, thank you so much for being on Saturday morning. And just for those to know, Ginger has agreed to start being on Saturday mornings more often. So you'll always be given notifications. She's very busy, but she's going to we're going to take the learning of our products to another level. Many of it for her, Ginger and Deanna speak and Dr. Strand multiple times, but for the newer folks, these Zooms are very informational, and we're very fortunate to have Ginger being able to do these with us. But as we switch gear, Coach Palmer, did you have anything else you want to ask Ginger before we go forward? You're muted.
No, that was awesome. I got to ask my questions. Thank you.
Well, guys, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk to the other half, and I will definitely not say the better half because we already spoke to the best half. But that's just because Aaron and I go back.
I agree, Chris.
Hey, we know how to suck up. So anyway, that way I get my text returned when I need something from Ginger. I'm always bragging on her. And she always answers me. I'm just giving a hard time. Aaron and I have been working together for so long, and I just shared with everybody that it was 8 years ago. Right now, this week, we're talking about where we're going to go. Multiple companies came into play and deciding to pick RX for what their vision was. And I think Aaron would be safe to say both. I mean, I don't know about him, but I will say I was pretty nervous. Not that I didn't believe in those guys. I'm like, wow, they're so young a company. Is this going to be well, I'm safe to say that and Aaron, I hope it's okay. I tell her about this. You, myself, and Todd Rowland, we're in a house in Destin. I didn't even know if you thought about that, but we're going back to Destin. And it's actually going to be 2 days literally later than we had made that choice to join this company. I may have been even the same day that they had put us in the system. But Aaron and I, we looked at each other and we were talking, and he said, man, we were going to bed praying. I mean, that's just, if that offends somebody, I won't apologize. I'll pray for you. The bottom line was we went to bed praying to make the right decision. And Todd, we all got up, and I know that we were all exhausted from thinking about what we were going to do. And without question, this company was the right direction. But as we go, Aaron, I want you to talk to us today about where we started and what's happening now and what the Destin event will be. And I'm going to turn it to Coach Palmer and let you and he talk about the Destin event.
Yeah, Chris, I don't know if you remember. It's interesting, how you said we were praying, and we all were, but it was interesting. There was 12 of us, and we made a decision, and I remember everybody was excited. This is what we're going to do. And one of the people that was the most excited, that actually had already said, I'm in, before the rest of us had finally made that decision. By the time everybody kind of got back to their house, that one person that was the most excited had already went with the other company. And so it left 11. Some of you might know a book that was written a couple thousand years ago, and there's some similarity in that story. But anyway, pretty interesting, Chris, how this journey started off. I remember when you were talking through that, just everything, the emotion, what was happening. And guys, I need to tell you, because this is important. It's important as a conversation that I just had with a pretty significant network the other day. The leadership that you guys are working with, the Chris, the Todds, the Kens, and there's many more. And Coach Palmer came later, and he has the same integrity, but it was it was not I focused. Chris was never, it wasn't about him. And that's rare, you guys. Literally while we were down there, people were leaving in droves from what we had built the previous 10 years. And we didn't get taken up by deals. We didn't get taken up and make just a quick decision based on emotion because everybody was going to this company or that company. And it's extremely rare in our industry when you get a group of people. And again, I'll go the same thing with Coach Palmer and some of the leadership there. They didn't just make a quick decision. They could have gone anywhere. We could have gone anywhere. We chose this, like Chris said, based on the casting of the vision. And if you look at the casting of the vision back then, guys, we had like 5 vitamins and they had just come up with this great new product called Slenderize that looked like a really bad deal because of the packaging. They had a water bottle that you'd have to suck your eyeballs out just to get a little bit out of there, right? So we were out, walking around like, oh, this is good. But it wasn't the products. It was the vision. Then you take that vision, Chris, and I'm thinking, okay, now you go back. What's it been? How long have you been doing these Saturdays? A year and a half?
Something like that, yep.
Guys, I remember jumping on a Saturday. Chris, hey, can you jump on a Saturday? There'd be 10, 15 people.
Actually closer to 3 years, I guess, Aaron, now that I think about it, because Zoom had just come out. We started using the Zoom. And I remember telling people, Aaron, we had, when we had 28 on, that was a record.
And yeah. And you guys, so now it's not even, you hear companies, you hear leaders, you hear other things in the industry, and they're like, oh, we're in momentum. And it's this fictitious thing that they're trying to create. Look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie, right? Look what's happening. Look at the global presence just on a Saturday morning. And that's just the people that are able to be on here. My phone's blowing up with all kinds of people that are working and they can't be on here, right? So Chris, it's so much fun to be a part of something that I'll say we were blessed to be able to have chosen right. And I really feel, Chris, that we were led to this decision for such a time as this.
I don't think there's any question about it. Coach?
Well, yeah, it truly is a blessing from God for us to be here. And one of the things, Aaron, we talk about a lot and we share is it's hard to find a company that has integrity and then flip it over, and it's hard to find a field leadership that has integrity. And when you got them both and they're doing it for the right reason, and they're bringing house of brands together, and they're taking people like Dr. Ginger and they're fine tuning it to make it better, kind of like just how can we create better integrity from all areas, compensation plan, pay out more, but also from a product integrity standpoint. My first question to you would be, because you're someone that has built, and earned millions of dollars in this industry. And I look at it. And so for the people that's on this call today, I'm thinking, what is it that's so important about having a company that has a house of brands? I think about bringing on Lucem and just the ability to, as people get in, to see, hey, I can actually put something on my skin that's not the chemicals, not all that, but from a business building standpoint, and from what you've seen over the years, how big is it to have a company that is bringing on other standalone companies for the future, for the legacy, for our business building? Does that make sense, Aaron?
Absolutely. And it's really easy, you guys. So I'm going to give you a couple of analogies, and then I'm going to ask you a question. So number one, anybody here ever bought anything from Amazon, maybe in the last week or two? Okay. All right. Number two, have you ever been to like a Starbucks or something like that? Do they just sell black coffee? Of course they don't. You go to a Starbucks and they got, this person wants a mocha, schmocha, caramel latte, whatever, with coconut milk. But also, what do we want? We want our name on it. Now, why do those two things, what do they have to do with what Brent just said? Everything. It's called conditioning. You and I have all been conditioned that we want what we want, and we want to choose our individual items that's custom to us. Okay. And then the question, and I'll elaborate on all this, but the question that I'm going to ask you is, so being a part of New Age right now, what do you want to sell? What do you want to sell? Here's what I want to sell, Brent. I want to sell whatever you want to buy. If I don't have a house of brands, I now have to turn all of you into salespeople. I got to create a sales force because now I have to teach you how to differentiate my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different products. But if I have a house of brands, and so now I can say, hey, what would you like to buy? And you say, well, I like liquid nutrition. Fantastic. Well, guess what? We've got some options for you. We've got this unbelievable, by the way, one of my fastest growing favorite products. I could expand on this all day, but is Noni. That's my liquid nutrition that I want. And Chris says, no. I'm a 36 superfood guy. Moa's my go-to. And Brent's like, you guys don't got nothing on me. The Focoidin is the deal, right? Like that's my drink of choice. What just happened? I got to fulfill every individual need, want, and desire. And I didn't have to teach them and convince them that they need to buy my liquid nutrition. They could just pick Brent off the shelf and pick what they want. What that does is create a long-term customer that's happy because they didn't have to get sold, but they got to choose to buy.
I want to add something. Is it okay if I add something, Coach? Because
absolutely.
I want to go back to when we were talking about when the company began, and they talked about this house of brands as we discussed it. And I think we were all like, because most companies are about a one-trick pony show. And I don't mean this in any disrespect to any company, but we could name off some companies that didn't last because it was all about one thing. I think a good one would be, is it Monavie? I think it's Monavie or Zango, but they had one thing. And I'm not saying it wasn't good, but they didn't have any diversification for the long haul. And what they told us was that made sense, at least we bought into it, and it certainly turned out to be right, that if you had one, that it had a shelf life, it had a life expectancy. And they referred it to like flat screen televisions. When they first came out, I remember Fred saying this, when flat screens televisions came out, they were $10,000. Now you can buy a 60-inch for $500. So what changed? The market was flooded with flat screen television. So if you've got products that are standalone and you can change it up, and when we talk about a house of brands, I want to give you a perfect example. Procter & Gamble. Everybody's heard of Procter & Gamble, but most people don't know they own both Tide and Cheer. So they created their own competition. They're made in the same. I'm a laundry guy, right? I used to be. So they actually competed. They're made in the same plant. What do you know what the difference in Tide and Cheer is? All the women will tell you there's a big difference. The color. They're made in the same facility. They have the same ingredients. One is blue and one has got white. It has speckles. They just created their own competition. And with us, we have the brand. It made total sense to me. So, by the way, I'm sorry I interrupted, Brent. I just think about that house of brands that he mentioned.
Well, and I just, what really I see, and Aaron, you nailed it. And it's that as you start to come into it and start to plug into calls and see different things in our company, what you realize is as a new person, you go, you know what? I already buy this. Now I can redirect it here. I already buy this. I can redirect it here. Just like our shampoo, just like our body wash, just like our toothpaste with Revive, it's not a brand that really gets highlighted, but I notice when people come in, they start acquiring that brand into their shopping cart because it's a redirection of spending. So that's huge for the legacy and why you go build this business. The other question is kind of twofold, Aaron. So you've seen momentum before, like you lived it, you witnessed it in a former company. So I know, that we're going into momentum. It's happening inside of this company, with or without me and you. It's happening. But so two things. Maybe you can touch on timing and place and momentum, what that looks like, and what has to line up for that to happen. But the other thing is, as a brand new person, like, what does that mean for them? What do they need to do today to be able to get in the mix, to be able to take off with us? So I'll leave those two questions to you.
First, I think the most important thing to realize, you guys, is I've watched other Zango hit momentum, Mona V hit momentum, Visalis hit momentum. You've got all these companies and they hit momentum. They hit almost $1 billion, some multiples of billions of dollars, but they don't exist today. So here's a huge differentiation. The leadership on the corporate side put the money where it needed to be long-term. So we've got a foundation. So you and I know that what we're going to build here and what we are building here is set up to last. Extremely important. Chris, you mentioned that it's product life cycle, right? Like, no company ever talks about product life cycle, because they know that if they talk about product life cycle and they've only got one product, they know you're going to figure out that there's an end date to that product's life cycle. So the brand strategy plus the foundation that our company is set for long-term growth. Now you take, and again, we don't have to hype things up, Brent. That's what's so nice. You guys, look at just the facts. Just the facts. So look at this Zoom. That's one fact that you can look at. If you're brand new, say, wait a minute, you mean just a few years ago, they were excited about 28 people and now there's 200 plus. Just a few years ago, there was a handful of people that were trying to figure out how to open up Europe. They just broke a record, $104 million, guys, just in one little market in our company. Just a short time ago, Mexico was doing maybe, a few $1,000s a week, and now they're hundreds of thousands of dollars a week. Just a few years ago, we weren't publicly traded. Now we're publicly traded. You know what? Don't take my word for it. Wall Street's betting on us to win. Look at the stock going up. More importantly, or just as importantly, just a few years ago, a home-based anything was, one of those things. Today, it is the most important thing. Just a few years ago, health and nutrition was like, yeah, whatever, I'm doing pretty good here. I put lettuce on my Big Mac. Today, we've all been conditioned. If you're not paying attention to your health, you're way, way more susceptible to things that can come down here and affect it. We see, guys, I'm not going to get into that great debate, but what it did is it brought it to people's frontal lobe, right? People are thinking about health because they're being inundated with all this negativity about poor health. Does that make sense? We've always needed to pay attention to our health. I'm kind of curious, the airline's like, yeah, we're using a better filter on the filtration system. And I'm thinking, no wonder I used to get sick. You guys didn't care, right? But what happened? Awareness. Brent, there is an awareness today of the two major things that we do. We teach people and give them products that align, that can help their bodies become healthier. Fact. But also we provide an opportunity where people from home, or more importantly, from their phone globally, can build a global distribution market that does not make one person have to buy one particular product or even brand of products, but allows them to have a portfolio of products. Then you take a company that says, listen, we're going to expand on that. I know, Brent, maybe you know this or not, we're going to have a great, learn some good stuff on Partners Council this Wednesday, but they're taking things next level in a couple areas, right? But then you look at like continents like Africa, they also will have their own individual, and companies see what our company is first to do is say, we're not going to take the square peg and make you fit it in the round hole. We're going to give you a round peg and allow you to fit it in the round hole of your choice. And you guys, if you're sitting here and you're brand new, or if you've been here, you couldn't have predicted, our company couldn't have predicted all of these things coming together. It would have been impossible. It would be impossible to predict the time that we're at. You look at our technology side of things. right? Our onboarding. I know we talked about that. Our simple sign up process. And by the way, technology is technology. Guys, here's what I would suggest. There's some amazing things coming in the short term for our company. Brent, I keep hoping that we push a few of those things out a little bit, because I like promoting what's coming, not what's already happened, right? So you guys take advantage of what's coming. Look at what's happening in Africa. It hasn't launched yet, but what's happened? Just the ability to know it's coming, right? So you and I can be a part of something that's coming. Well, we're exploding Africa based on what's to come. Well, here's what we can do, Brent. We can explode North America based on what's to come. Well, if what's to come, Brent, doesn't happen right when we thought it was going to happen, does that mean that we got to just stop and wait? Or does it mean like, hey, thank the good Lord that they pushed that out another 2 weeks, another 4 weeks, because I've got more time to promote what's coming. And you guys, all of those things that are happening simultaneously creates real, genuine, authentic momentum. Here's the great thing. We all get to participate. Here's the bad thing. It's up to you. How much of it do you want? Brent, I promise you, Coach Palmer, you guys, you watch him every single day. He pours everything, his heart and soul. I talk to him on the phone, and all he is how can I help more people win? I just want people to win. I just want people to win. Chris Doyle, he'll do whatever he can do. I mean, you guys, you have no idea the drive, the work ethic, what he does day in. And look at Coach Todd Rowland. Man, he's driving, he's whatever they can do. And you guys, there's tremendous leaders on here. I'm just looking at kind of my screen right here. But why are they driving? Why? What is it? What do they see? Why do they want it so bad? Why is, an Andrea Rosser and an Anthony Morin, they're pouring their heart and their soul into making sure that they can capitalize on what their skills are to add value to the team. And then sometimes, Brent, we sit back and if I'm a new person, I'm like, well, but I don't know enough. Or if I'm somebody I've been here, but it hasn't worked for me. And I don't want to miss it. And then what we do is we allow our emotion to take us out of the best time of our life. You guys, here's the thing. We all have different skills. But look at what's happened. We're all coming together. And if you just plug in, I don't know if I'm supposed to do this or not. I'm going to do it anyway. You guys, the Destin event, I promise you, as sure as I'm sitting here, the Destin event will be, and it's not because of the location. It's not, although I think the people putting that on are super fantastic. It's not that. It's because the time that event is happening, and with everything that's coming together, you've got this incredible group of people from Noni that are being merged. You've got other companies, other product lines, other special things that are all coming together. And you and I can launch from there like I know, Brent, I'm certain this company has never seen before. North America is getting poised to pass markets like Europe, markets like Japan, markets like China. North America is getting ready to be the #1 market because of unbelievable leadership like you all have on this Zoom today.
Aaron, wow. Yeah, that couldn't have been put any better. And it's because it comes from the heart. For everybody on here, like Aaron Decker is just that guy that just can't like stretch the truth. It's just, it's coming out of him. And here's what we would all say to the brand new person, because we did it. We did it when we started. Lock your spot. Sometimes you just got to look at people and go, I'm not going to leave you behind, Dad. I'm not going to leave you behind, Mom. I'm not going to leave you behind, sister, brother. For $24.95 and 250 points of amazing products for you to lock your spot in this company that will one day be worth billions of dollars, that will one day move up in the NASDAQ, is what all the analysts are looking at. Like, don't miss this moment. And that's what I know Aaron would say to the brand new person. Don't overanalyze it. Don't overthink it. Who's your bet? I used to call them my gel buddies. Hey, I'm going to get my first 10 gel buddies on board. And they'd go, what's your gel buddy? I said, the guys that would bail me out of jail if I got put in jail. Now you can go Google me. That's never happened. Okay. But here's the deal. Okay. Maybe a couple of close occasions, but anyway, bottom line is now's the time. So sometimes we look all around the world to figure out who we can involve in our business and who we can. You heard from Dr. Ginger Decker on our products. Why would you not involve the people you love the most? But on the flip side, you heard from somebody that's made millions of dollars in this industry, Aaron Decker. Why would you not involve the people you love the most in this company that is changing the industry in a disruptive way? And then last but not least, you are in it right now. You're on this call. Why would you not get to Destin? If we've got 50 seats left, why would you not get there? If you could look down the road and go, I was there in the seat. I took full advantage of an opportunity when the world didn't know about it. That's where we're at. That's what we're telling you. And so I hope this morning that you go, you know what? I see it. My belief just went from here to here. So, Chris, that's all I had. I want to say thanks to Dr. Ginger and Aaron Decker, because I'll tell you what, when I listen to them, even for somebody like me that's come from another company that has been blessed to earn millions of dollars in the industry, it takes my belief to a new level, because it makes me realize, man, I've really got something that's gold in my pocket that I can share with the world and know that it has the opportunity to bless their health and their finances for a legacy to come to their kids and to their grandkids. So guys, thanks for your leadership. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Brent. And Chris, let me just add one thing, you guys. Here's the thing about Destin. There's one word that I want you to really think of if you're not already registered, and the word is regret. I promise you, if you don't go, you're going to be one person that says, I should have, and you're going to live with regret. Regret is a killer. Guys, make sure you're the one that says, I'm so glad I did.
Well, I'm going to add this. If we had not had Brent Palmer on the phone and Todd Rowland meeting with, everybody thinks in network marketing, we hype an event and then we say, we truly were sold out. Andrew would tell you that we truly were sold out. Brent went and Todd went, and at least you went into a war with those guys, didn't you, about getting us moved up in your size?
We really were sold out, but Todd went to actually the facility. We were on the phone. We got on the phone with honestly the people that's involved with the fire marshal, and basically got some more seats for the event. So, and why do we do that? Because we just want to ensure everybody that wants to be there can get in the room. So you're definitely right, Chris. This is not hype. This will be a massive event.
And I'm going to finish with this, guys, and we got 3 minutes. When Aaron said the regret, Aaron and I actually didn't know each other at the time, but we attended an event that's basically will come up on 20 years this fall in Nashville, Tennessee. He didn't have the money to go, and I certainly didn't. I'd just gone through bankruptcy. And I attended an event. In my case, it was very close. And Aaron's, he drove a long way. I attended an event in Nashville, Tennessee, and I can 100% assure you, had I not attended that event that fall in Nashville, Tennessee, and learned what I had my hands on in that company, that I would not be on this. I wouldn't be here on the Saturdays. I don't know what I'd be doing. I have no idea, because that's been almost 20 years. So I encourage you. It's not for me. Everybody thinks I get commission on this because I pumped the event. We're going to lose money on this event. Fortunately, I don't have my credit card up. Coach Palmer does. And Coach Rowland, they're the ones with credit cards up. They're doing this to help. And guys, if you will please listen, if you haven't bought your ticket, this will sell out. And I don't mean this in any bad about the Noni folks. I want it to sell out to the Limu. I want it to sell out to my RX reps. I don't want it to sell out. And I'm like, dang, I'm meeting people ain't on my team. The reason I'm pushing this event so hard is I want my organization, the people that I know, the people that we're working with, to be at that event. And that's no reflection on the Noni people. We welcome them because just like we did the Limu people. But right now, I want my team members there to see what I see. Being selfish on that part. So anyway, we're going to close this thing out. Any parting words from you two guys? My grandson's waving at me. I've got a visitor in here now. It's my 6-year-old. Come here, Court. So we all know that what it's like to be in come here. Come here. Come up here. I want you to see why we love working from home and why we love being able to do these kind of things. Is there's my little 6-year-old grandson. He got to spend the night. He's wondering where Papa is. He's wanting me to cook some breakfast. I know exactly what he's wanting. Tell him how they're all looking at you all over the world.
You tell Papa to cook you a good breakfast. Make sure tell Papa it has to be Dr. Ginger approved.
It will not be Dr. Ginger approved. Tell him what I cook. French toast. So see, we're just normal people. We're working right here from the house, and I got 2 of my grandchildren here tonight. So tell them bye. Bye. Guys, we're finishing up with that. I think it just sometimes know that we're just real people working from home, and we love what we do. And we're, so guys, thanks for being on. Coach Palmer, always for you. Aaron, Ginger, going to have you more often. Ginger, by the way, did send me a text. She's not only going to train on the nutritional product, she's going to train a separate training on the Lucium line. So she's going to do a double training. So we're going to get a Lucium training. Am I pronouncing that right? Lucium, is that correct?
Lucium, yeah.
Lucium. We're going to do a Lucium training as well. So going to be more product training than way before that you've ever seen before. So guys, have a great day. Thanks for being on with us. And we'll be back next Saturday, of course, and we'll let you know on Friday who will be here. Thanks again, guys.
Grateful for you. Love you.